Alrighty. Alrighty. 91.5. WRPI Troy. Like I always say, the opinions expressed aren't necessarily the opinions of the executive committee, the board of trustees, the student union, or anybody else. This is a show that is unreal out there in the universe of the absurd. Like a boil on the butt of the universe. I'm the Hairman Do with a split personality. The other half is Professor Dumkov. Although the students call me Stunad. I don't know nothing, but I've got an open mind. It's so open that my mind fell out. I like to hear things from all sides. So, well, I was talking to a friend of mine the other day, young fella, and he was telling me about Bernie Sanders and socialism. Well, not to be young and idealistic is really a shame. Some people say there's something wrong with you if you don't have liberal tendencies when you're young, and here I am old and I've got progressive tendencies. I like to look at everything and everyone, and you know, we talk about sports and sometimes it breaks out in a fight, and we talk about politics and it oftentimes breaks out in a fight. But as long as we don't talk about somebody's mother or father or brother, then you won't get a bloody nose, probably. Did I tell you about the engineer, the psychologist, the theologian that were hunting in the wilderness in the northern woods of Canada? Suddenly the temperature dropped. It was incredible. But it happens all the time up there. It was 42 below zero. And they came across an isolated cabin. They were half froze, far removed from any town. The hunters had heard that locals in the area were quite hospitable, so they knocked on the door and asked permission to rest. No one answered their knocks. They discovered, of course, just like everything in Canada, out in the country, nobody locks anything. You know, usually by the time they want to lock something up, the key is lost if there ever was a key or a lock to begin with. And, well, nothing unusual about the cabin. It was 2 rooms with a minimum of furniture and household equipment, except the stove. Big old large Potbelly Stove made of cast iron, and it was cherry red. What was strange about the location is it was suspended midair by wires attached to the ceiling beams. Fascinating, said the psychologist. It's obvious that this lone trapper, isolated from humanity, has elevated the stove so he can curl up under it and vicariously experience a return to the womb. Nonsense, said the engineer. The man is practicing the laws of thermodynamics by elevating his stove. He has discovered a way to distribute the heat more evenly throughout the cabin. With due respect, interrupted the theologian, I'm sure that hanging the stove from the ceiling has a religious meaning. Fire doth lift up has been a religious symbol for centuries, like the burning bush. The three debated the point for several hours without resolving the issue. Then the trapper appeared at the door, and they immediately asked him why he had hung this heavy potbelly stove from the ceiling. His answer was succinct. Had plenty of wire, not much stovepipe. Yeah, sometimes there's a simple answer to complicated solutions. I wonder if anybody listened to the debates the other day. I was hearing it on the radio, and boy, I was laughing, and then I started crying practically. It was like a bunch of preschoolers having their way with other people. Among the strangest things I ever heard was when a friend of mine said, man, let's get some Thunderbird. I said, what's that? And he just started to grin. Slobbered on his shirt, his eyes got dim. He said, you got 59 cents? I said, yeah, I got $1, but don't be a smart aleck, and I ain't gonna spend that on no relic. And he said, Thunderbird's not an old trinket or relic. It's a wine, man. You take it home and you drink it. I said, it sure don't sound like no wine to me. And he said he'd bet me a change of my $1. Well, we hustled down to the nearest U-totem, and the guy there wanted my ID, and I whipped her out and showed him. He got a green bottle from the freezer vault, and my friend started doing backward somersaults through the cottage cheese. Took it back to his house and started drinking. Pretty soon I set to thinking, man, this Thunderbird tastes yum, yum, yummy, and you know it's doing good things to my tummy. It's the way you reason when you're on that crap. Well, I hope everybody's having a great day. I know I am, and let's see if we can make it a little better for everybody. I know there's some people that are still snoozing, so